Before we praise, we must bury. A few things to talk about. What's going on in Orlando? What happened with the Lakers? Oklahoma City moves on. San Antonio is waiting. A few items to digest on the program. Charles Barkley will join us coming up 15 minutes from now. Charles has made his pick of who will win the NBA title, which may surprise you a little bit. Charles will join us coming up. Also, Mike Bianchi, the columnist of the Orlando Sentinel, will try to clear out the debris and make some sense of what's going on in Orlando. We know who's going. Is anybody staying? Kevin Ding of the Orange County Register, there for the Lakers dismissal last night. Kevin covering the Lakers. He'll join us as we look at how they reassembled this team. I think what you do is everybody's going to react, and of course, I've said this before, something happens, we immediately react. It's the end of the world, or they're the greatest team, or the greatest player. You know, the Pacers beat the Heat. Oh, the Heat, you got to trade Dwayne Wade. Oh, wait a minute, he had a good game. Oh, no, they're heading back to Game 5, and they have a chance to win. And now with the Lakers, with what's happened, you got to all of a sudden say, oh, we got to tear it apart. We got to trade. We got to trade Powell. Bynum. You know, what do we do with Kobe? We need a point guard. What are you going to do? You got limits to your roster. You paid an awful lot of money to 3 guys. Bynum, you're going to pick up his option. Pau Gasol's got 2 more years left. Kobe's got 2 more years left. Meta World Peace has 2 more years left. They looked at this window and said, can we hold on with this group and try to get a couple of championships here? This is not satisfying for any Laker fan, and certainly for the front office. They did not succeed. They failed. They failed because you bring in a point guard who wasn't ready for this type of stage. Ramon Sessions, maybe down the road, but I don't think he's a starting point guard, certainly not at this level. Steve Blake, not a point guard, not a starting point guard here. Meta World Peace, it's been nice. You get pockets there where he's great to have as somebody who can accompany you, but he can't be the guy who's going to lead you in assist. Bynum, I think he's inconsistently great. Pau Gasol, it was nice. It was a nice run here. But it's the wrong city for him. The demands, what they expect, and I just don't think he has the makeup there. I think that he's a very good player. But when you counted on him, he was not there. Kobe, that's an old 33. What are you going to do? Got 2 more years left, hefty contract. So let's start there. If you're looking at the Lakers, where do you go from here? What do you do? How can you make this team better? It's easy for Mitch Kupchak to say not getting Chris Paul set us back 5 years. Okay, you got something to blame. You didn't get Chris Paul. Did you forego a better trade option? Or when you didn't get Chris Paul, did you make the mistake of not getting something for Pau Gasol? That was my point all along. If I can get somebody from the Rockets who has attitude, Luis Scola, Kyle Lowry, at least I get guys who are ready for this, that want this, that are excited about this. May not be the best deal, but it was a better deal than what you pulled off or that you didn't get. I think the Lakers were stunned they didn't get Chris Paul. And I thought they spent too much time complaining about it and not saying, okay, let's move forward. Keep in mind, the reason why the Lakers have been great, you get Shaq as a free agent. You get Kobe from Charlotte because he doesn't want to play in Charlotte when he's drafted there. You trade Vlade, and you get Kobe. Good deal. You got Pau Gasol after you fleeced Memphis. And the best guy they got in return was his brother, Marc Gasol. I mean, you get Meta World Peace. You know, they pick him up. People thought, well, why would you do that? He did supply some needs to this team. But some of the best moves they've made are bad moves by somebody else. Can you do that now? Who's taking Pau Gasol? What do you get in return for Pau Gasol? Bynum? You want to trade him? What are you getting in return for him? Because everybody on the outside is going, well, look at what Bynum is. Inconsistent. Pau Gasol, he's sort of a wounded animal here. I think that if the league is smart, the league will be cautious if they do something here. You want Dwight Howard? What are you giving up for Dwight Howard? Do you want Dwight Howard? You saw what Dwight Howard did in Orlando. The Lakers have built their success on taking advantage of other people. Can you do that again? And the salary restrictions. Here's Kobe from last night's season-ending loss.
Kobe, you've seen this in the history of the NBA where the young team finally kind of breaks through against the older team, and you guys are now in that position of being kind of more the veteran team, and you look at it and you start to think, is that transition happening?
I'm not fading into the shadows. That's what you're asking.
I mean, even as just
I'm not going anywhere.
The entire team.
We're not going anywhere. It's not one of those things where, like, the Bulls beat the Pistons and the Pistons disappear forever. I'm not going for that.
Well, I like the attitude, but let's see what they do. Let's see what happens. What's the next move here? And I don't believe in taking the wrecking ball to a team because, first of all, you overreact sometimes. But I think if you're honest in your assessment of the talent you have there, what do you have there? You don't have draft picks. You don't have salary cap room. What about your young players? Even the veterans. Do you want them? What can you get for them? You got 2 more years invested because that's what they looked at. The Lakers looked at this window. 2 more years with Kobe. We surround him with this talent. And in all honesty, that talent should be better. But I think Kobe got back to an old habit here. He didn't trust his teammates. Can you blame him? That's part of the problem here. You know, as great as some of these players are, they have to be able to trust some of these role players. And some of these guys shouldn't be labeled role players. Pau Gasol was the second coming of Kevin McHale. I might take Kevin McHale right now. That's how bad things got. I think Pau averaging, 12 points, shooting 44%. It's hard to disappear as a 7-footer, but he did. There were times when I said, where? Oh, yeah, he's on the floor. You can't have that. And I've been banging the drum on this. Where's the passion? I heard it from Kobe there. Is anybody else? And they were good enough. That's the sad part. Oklahoma City, young guns, I get it. If the Lakers had that sense of urgency and a frenetic pace and anger and, we'll shock the world. And did anybody channel Russell Westbrook and say, oh, that's how you play? Oh, okay. You didn't have that. But you get these guys who have energy there, passion there. And what did the Lakers need? And here's another thing. People are going to say, well, we got to get our point guard. You're going to get a point guard, but Kobe has the ball all the time. The Bulls didn't have a legitimate point guard. Michael had the ball. Kobe has the ball. If Chris Paul's there, does Kobe defer to him? Does he play a Reggie Miller style where I'll just keep running off picks, you find me? You really have to look at what's going to happen here in the offseason. Front office-wise, what kind of team do you want to have? And you have a defensive-minded coach with an old team. Old guys don't want to play. They don't want to play defense. If you want to vent, Laker fans, you can fire away. Our poll question, does Kobe win another title?